man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, let's do this prediction for Leo Santa Cruz taking on Gervonta Tank Davis. They are fighting for the regular WBA belt at 135 pounds lightweight, and they're also fighting for the 130-pound super featherweight super WBA title. Let's get to it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Let me get situated. Leo Santa Cruz has been a champion in 3 or 4 weight classes now. Gervonta has been a title holder. I only count him as a champion once, but he did get the Super WBA belt versus Jesus Clay. Our guy was coming off a loss, moving up in weight. They stripped out Alberto Machado, who beat the real Super WBA title holder, which was Gergel Corrales, who just fought Cobra and lost not too long ago. And they gave it to him. He originally won the IBF versus Jose Pedraza. That was a legit win. He said Floyd tried to set him up then. And now he got this fake belt that nobody cared about at lightweight. Santa Cruz, when I tell, all his titles have been maybe real. I know he fought for a vacant title, all that. But at 26, he actually was a real title holder. And at 30, he had Gervonta old title, which they knew they was going to make the Leo fight. So, you know how boxing politics is. Everybody going to be talking about they was a world champion. Over like 80% of boxing is going to say they was a world champion of some type. And it's kind of embarrassing. But Leo Santa Cruz is 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. I believe that's what BoxRec say. He's like 37 or 37-1-1. Don't quote me on that. We had 19 knockouts, 48% knockout ratio, just over that. His last knockout came TKO over Kiko Martinez in February of 2016. So almost over 5 years ago was his last stoppage. Gervonta, he has a over 95% knockout ratio. He's like 22. He's 23-0. No draws, no losses. 22 knockouts, and the only guy that went the distance was a guy that had a terrible record, but he must have been tough. His name was German something. So Tank is 5'5.5". He actually has 76.5-inch reach. So him and Teofimo Lopez basically has the same reach. But I mean, you talk about the strengths of Leo Santa Cruz. Let's get into it. Patient. I think he's a really patient fighter. A lot of people don't give him credit for that. You know, even though he let his hands go a lot, he not really jumping in and doing nothing stupid. Everything Leo do, if it's calculated pressure, raw pressure, you know, he real patient. You know, he not really, looking for the knockout. He just looking to score. And we know he a volume puncher. We know that about him. He throw a lot of punches, but he don't get reckless when he throw a lot of his punches. He actually kind of really takes time, set up his shots, and, he there. Another thing about him, he disciplined, You don't catch him out of shape. He stay in shape. You don't see him fat. You don't see him bloated or nothing like that. And actually, to be honest, he stays within his truth. That's also his discipline. He know he not a big puncher. He know what he do best. He applies pressure. He throws a lot of punches. He a well-conditioned fighter. You don't really see him get tired a lot. Leo is fundamentally sound, too. He's technically sound. There's nothing, sexy about Leo. He throw a lot of punches, keep his hands up, bring his hands back home. He work up and down. And pretty much that's Leo in a nutshell. And seeing from this point in his career, I don't know how many huge punchers he fought, but he seemed to be durable, have a good chin, never been stopped. When you look at Tank strengths, I mean, a lot of things. Speed, power. He actually got some good boxing skills. I mean, southpaw, so that gives him advantage over Leo being Leo being an orthodox fighter. Body puncher, just smart puncher, accurate. Solid jab. He could do pretty much everything. Tank can box, Tank can brawl. I think Tank IQ, along with Leo Santa Cruz's IQ, is just underrated. Tank legit, break people down. He's just real patient too. He's a patient fighter. And when you also, ready to get out of there, he take you for that long ride. So he a good finisher. He a southpaw, good hand speed, good power. Inside the ring, he another guy who not gonna really go out there and just, jump out there and be stupid. Chin tuck, hands up. He really fundamentally and technically sound, man. He's just, a really great athlete that just happened to have really good boxing skills. So you look at Tank, he throw every punch well. You know, sometimes he might throw every punch hard, and he probably need to switch that up in his fight. But, you know, he everything that you want in a fighter, to be honest, just physically. You know, other than his height and length, just physically, he got it. Boxing skills, speed, power. If you want to be defensive, if you want to box, he can do it. His feet solid. Really good. When you talk about Tank weaknesses, discipline outside the ring, lifestyle outside the ring. You know, not being able to deliver a clean fighter's lifestyle. And people think mentally that he's not there. You know, he don't want to fight the best. He always crying, complaining, wanting to fight Floyd. I think some people just think mentally he can't be broken, you know. And, you know, also, you know, sometimes he come out, he look a little dry to me too. You know, and I think if somebody could touch him on the chin, which I don't think Leo got the power to touch him on his chin, you know, he need to come out a little bit more hotter. Sometimes he kind of just feel like he carrying luggage on his back and moving. But when he get loose and when he in shape, he light as a feather. He can move, but, you know, every time he is fighting that one dude on Showtime, I can't remember his name, one of them Hispanic cats he was fighting, I think it's before the Gamboa fight. And even to go Gamboa fight, like he just carrying luggage, you know. But other than that, man, you know, mentally people think he can be cracked, discipline outside the ring, lifestyle outside the ring. In the ring, you know, might have some problems going 12. He's known for getting guys out there 4, 5, first round, 7th round, 8th round. So people want to know if his stamina there. To me, in the Gamboa fight, he answered it. You know, people say he got tired, but he fought through it, and that was a lesson learned. You know, that's probably his first official time that I can think of that it got to be his first time he went 12. I'm not sure he fought that dude that went the distance with. I probably think that was an 8, 9, 6 round fight. That was early in his career. So how can you expect somebody who never been 12 to go 12? That's something you have to go through. You know what I'm saying? That's just something mentally you have to go through. So you can't knock him and say he don't have the stamina to go 12. He went 12 with Gamboa, and probably a blessing in disguise to go 12 with Gamboa because, you know, you're going to need that experience, you know, once you start fighting the bigger and better lightweights. So now in the next fight, he'll know how to pace himself. He'll know not to throw all his punches at the same speed. And sometimes he throws punches the same speed. He throw everything hard as a knockout punch. It's kind of like, you know, a strong arm quarterback like at the University of Michigan. Joe Milton, he got to learn to stop throwing everything just hard. That goes with Flacco. Brett Stafford was one of them. Cam at some point had to be one of them. Those guys that got the gifted cannon on their arm, you know, at some point they got to learn how to put that touch and how to change speeds of the ball, you know, so you get the right trajectory and the right drop on the ball. And kind of with Tank, he's one of those fighters that throw everything hard. Keith Thurman is another one that throw everything hard. You know, you got to look at guys like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Tyson Fury, you know, who know how to change the speed of their punches. And it's very important to change your speed of your punches because also, you know, you can make your opponent comfortable. And that's kind of what Tank need to do. Make your opponent comfortable. Make him seem like the power not there. Just touch him. Just give him half power. And you invite Santa Cruz in. And he think, I can take his power. Then you turn it up. You start hitting him with that real garlic butter palm on his ass. But, you know, other than that, you know, really, until we see him step up in competition, other than the stamina, the lifestyle outside the ring, you don't know. You know, the unknown. You don't know if he could take it on the chin. You know, he ain't fought no tremendous puncher yet. The discipline outside the ring, that's probably going to catch up with his stamina. The stamina to me, you know, you can say, people going to say it is a weakness, but him going 12 for the first time, that might teach him how to change the speed of his punches and pace himself during the fight. Relying on his power too much, I can't say that's a weakness at all. I'm just bringing up something people say. He can box too. So, you know, when you can't really tell, you know, what these guys' weaknesses is. I mean, Boots, you can talk about him. You could talk about Colbert, Shakur, Teofimo Lopez, Gary Anton Russell. You can talk about those guys, but a lot of you know, questions still out on Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Can they take it on the chin? You know, the things is there. You seen with Jermell Charlo, this got to be almost his 30th fight. And, you know, when Rosario was hitting him on the body, can he take it to the body? That was a good question to ask. So, you know, a lot of, with these guys not being match made tough sometimes or fighting elite level fights, there's still data to be collecting to see what their weaknesses are. And as Tank step up, you'll kind of start seeing his weaknesses. You know, people say it was power faded versus Gamboa, this, that, and the third. We're seeing this fight with Leo Santa Cruz. You know, he just don't pack power. That's the problem with Leo Santa Cruz. He throw all them punches, which are arm punches. Is it that Leo don't know how to punch or Leo is incapable of punching hard? Those are two different things. There's a lot of guys who don't know how to punch. They don't know how to generate power from the floor up. They throw arm punches or they don't know how to sit on their punches and get the torque, you know. And that's kind of one of the large arts in boxing. It's not really learning how to punch. And I think Leo is just technically, you know, I think he not technically good at punching. You know, you see Leo punch, it's no floor to knees, to hips, you know, from thighs to hips to the torso, torquing that punch. When you throw a punch, you know, you just don't throw an arm punch. You're not really getting a lot of leverage on it. You got to throw the punch where, that's why you see them dudes turn their hips. You know, Mike Tyson dip down And it's not him just with the arm. It's just everything packed in this one thing from the body up. And Leo, I think Leo's one of those guys who just haven't been taught how to punch. Not saying if somebody taught him how to punch properly, that he'd be a knockout puncher. Another thing is tipping his hand off. You know, you see this on his lead hand. He all twitching his lead hand. I think that's something bad. Outside of that in this fight, other than that, man, he just don't pack a lot of power. You know, he throw a lot of punches, you know, and that could be bad when you fighting a guy like Tank who can counter. We don't know really at this weight class, can he take a punch? You know, can he take it to the body? You know, can Leo really fight on the inside? I mean, there's some things you don't know, but really the one thing that step out for Leo is that, you know, lack of power and that twitching of the arm. Really, there ain't a lot of weaknesses to Leo game. He got that peekaboo defense that could or can't work for him. He not real slick. But other than that, you know, we really don't see much in him, just that he just can't punch. You know, we see if he can go backwards. If Tank push him back, can he go back and fight on the back foot? That'd be an interesting fight, but he ain't fought too many monstrous punchers neither. You know, Mares wasn't a super big puncher. I mean, he didn't fight Rigondeaux, who might be the biggest puncher under 126 pounds. So, I mean, he ain't really fight no monstrous cats. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting, man, to see where he get to in this fight. But if Leo's gonna win this fight, Leo gotta evade the big punch. So keys to victory for Leo. Stay away from the big punch. And when Gervonta miss, you got to make him pay. You can't be scared to counter him. I think for him as well, he got to work Gervonta's body just as well as he work upstairs. I think body punching got to be key. I think he got to use his slight reach advantage, keep that jab and take face. And he can't be scared to let that right hand go. I think he got to move to kind of, take the stank off Tank punches in the first few rounds. Also, I think he got to sit there and try to push Tank back. I think he got to use his angles. When Tank get on the inside, he got to hold. I mean, it's just a lot of just little things he got to do. Punch off the clinch. You know what I'm saying? Set traps for Tank. Make Tank think you coming with a jab, coming with a straight right or right over the top. Use your lead left hook. There's a lot of things he got to use, man. But I think imperative for him to work down more than he worked up early to kind of help the process of Tank getting slowing down early. But other than him, he just got to go out there and box, use his height, use his reach. Look out for that one big punch. Tank throwing one big punch. Now, if Tank come out there trying to touch him and trying to box, and trying to, change the speed of his punches, he's going to have a tough time. But I think his best bet to do is, work off Tank. When Tank miss, make him pay. When Tank miss and you can't make him pay, hold him. Keep switching angles. Set a high pace for him. Keep the jab, throw the jab as much as possible. Jab upstairs, jab to the bottom. When Tank gets set, move off the mark. Make Tank reset. You know what I'm saying? Tank got to be set to, throw when he coming forward. So, just a lot of things he can do. He don't really have a slickness. Don't get into covering up when he throwing multiple shots. When he kind of trying to cooking, dip, hold him, get the clean spin out. Just do like Ali used to do. Touch, fall in, hold him like Floyd did with Baltimore. And just push him back. You got to show him you're strong and tire this guy out. When he miss, make him pay. He got to counter. He got to use a jab. He got to work downstairs to the body. So, I think Leo really ain't got much of a chance in a lot of people's eyes. But if he can box a matchable fight, and he got a big ring in there, it might be a chance where he can take the Tank to some deep waters, and maybe that shark might drown for the first time in history. When you look at Tank, I would just tell him not to come out there trying to kill the guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there throwing everything hard. I would tell him to walk the kid down, jab him upstairs to the body, focus your hard shots to the body, rip shoe shine to the body, rip to the body. You know what I'm saying? Once you get the body going, his hands start dropping, rip that uppercut. You know what I'm saying? Walk him down with the jab, touch his body. Don't let him get no rhythm. I would tell, if I was Calvin, I would show how Tank to cut that ring off and close that distance on him. So, so Leo can't, run around the ring. He going to that peekaboo style. I tell him, touch the body, bring them elbows down, rip the uppercut off the middle. Because Leo got his chin just like this. Rip that uppercut, up the middle. I just tell him, seduce him with your power. Make him think you can't punch her. I tell Tank to throw everything half speed with the jab. I just say, just touch him to the body, touch him to the head. And then when Leo started to think he could take the power, then open him up and start hitting him with the real power, man. But it's going to be a real interesting fight. But for Tank, key to victory for him being a southpaw, use that straight left. I would tell him to change the speed of his punches. I tell him the majority of your output go to the body. I said once you go to the body, you know, when he start hunching over, rip it up to the head. Don't forget when you walk him down, come behind your jab. And just touch him everywhere. Touch him on the hips, touch him on the body. You know, and then when he start to open up, he feel comfortable with your power. Then you start hitting him with the big shots. But to be honest, man, it'll be a disappointment, you know, if this fight don't deliver, because it is $80 for people who don't know. I think this fight will be more exciting. Not sure it will have the duration of Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, but I think it'll be more exciting. On the card, you got Ryan Carl, never seen him fight to my memory. Mario Barrios, you got Regis taking on a TMT fighter, and I can't remember who else on the card, televised portion. But I like Tank in this fight. Give me Tank in 8 rounds. I'm gonna say Tank get it done 8 or earlier. I think it's gonna be either KO or TKO style fight. Wouldn't surprise me if Leo completely won, but if Tank don't stop him or really beat him up bad, where Leo show a lot of heart and barely make it to the bell, you know, he's going to have a lot of problems at lightweight and even at super featherweight with some of the killers like Burchett. So I like Tank in 8 or less. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Wouldn't surprise me if Leo won because, you know, the old head's been beating on the young guys last year in boxing. It probably would happen this year, you know, if we had more fights. But hey, let me know what you guys think. I like Tank in 8. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All my social media links in the description. If you ever want to holler at me or you got a business you want to promote, I got good rates. Twitter's the fastest way. Check out our Facebook group. That link's in the description. Want to make a donation to the channel? Best way to do that is share the video. If you want to make a financial donation, Cash App CJGood313. That's in the description as well. PayPal link there as well. Appreciate the love and support. One time for one time. We go.